Yo guys, what's up? It is Will Burroughs. I graduated from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte with my bachelor's degree in exercise science, and today is another rest day. And in this video, we are going to be covering the topic of consistency. And if anything, this is the most important aspect of health. And there is a reason for this. Because we know it's not the one workout. It's not the one day of eating good. And it's also not the one night of good sleep. These by themselves do marginal help. Obviously, if you do a workout, you're going to make a little bit of progress. But if you just stop working out, it's going to go away. If you eat good for a day, sure, if you're in a 500 calorie deficit, yes, you will lose 1/7 of a pound. But if you go back to eating normally, then you can reverse that progress or just have it go away. If you have one night of good sleep, sure, yeah, it'll help with recovering and building new muscle if you've done the other two things properly, right? But it's the culmination of your training, your nutrition, and your sleep/recovery. It is the summation this guy. And whatever. A sigma symbol. I forgot how to draw it. It's been a long time since I have done my calculus. But you know what I mean, that summation thing. Whatever. Anyway, it is the culmination of all three of these things added on top of each other. So if you do it for one day, you get an eensy bit of results. You do it for a week, get an eensy bit more results. You do it for a month, you get a bit more results. You do it for a year, you get quite a bit more results. You do it for 10 years, and then you get, all of this growth. So the whole point is it is a matter of time, and it's a matter of time moving in the direction that we want to go. So if our training, nutrition, sleep, and recovery are in a positive direction, then these will all give us positive additions, right? But if, let's flip it, and let's say we're not doing the good things, that one day will do a little bit of damage. It'll go down a little bit. Or here, we'll make it a different color that way. That way we can do it. We'll do it red. So that's a little bit of damage, right? And then let's just get this guy out here. And then we'll go back to a week. And then I'll go ahead and get the other guys a month, a year, 10 years. All right, now I'll go back to it, right? And we're gonna have that much, and we're gonna have that much, and we're gonna have that much, and then we're gonna have all of that, right? So pretty much in these examples, what you can see is, right, it's just going each day, there's going to be a bit of progress in one direction or the other. Now, in the bad direction, you can progress the bad direction a lot quicker, but most people don't go off the bender consistently. And if you do, then just keep in mind this progress can go a lot quicker than what you want. But at the end of the day, you have two things that you could do. You could either go up a little bit or you could go down a little bit. And this comes down to your daily actions, right? So you could think of it as an example like this. One day you're on and you do everything right, and then one day you're off, right? And then those would effectively just cancel each other out. Again, depending, like if you went 500 calories over for the bad day and then you were 500 calories under for the other day, then you've effectively canceled out your progress. But if you went like 1,000 calories under, you took 2 days out, right? But the reason it's important to look at it like this is because there are 365 days a year, right? And if we are consistent, let's just say 300 days we do the right thing. And 65 days we don't do the right thing, right? We're still getting 300 days of progress, right? And even if you went over some of these days, let's say you did double the batch, so these were at 2x, right? So that would put you at 130 days. And then we take another 65 out of the 300, and that would leave us with 235. So we still had 235 days in the right direction, going up, and that would equate to some kind of progress. Now, another thing to keep in mind, if you did those 300 days, and let's say you did all 300 days back to back, you'd make, a decent amount of progress like you did up in here. But then if you just did the 65 days all back to back to back, that would result in you ending up, you're still going to be in a better position, but you'll probably not be feeling good about yourself after 2 straight months of not moving in the right direction. But the way that you want to look at it with consistency is, let's just say our goal is to be consistent 90% of the time, right? That means about once every 10 days, you can mess up something. You can mess. Now, this doesn't mean go on a bender, eat 30,000 calories, which will be, like you'll put on like 5 pounds instantaneously overnight, and then you'll have to do 5 weeks worth of work to undo those 5 pounds. Don't do that. But the point is, like, you miss a workout on that 10th day. Cool. Like, it happens. It's not going to be the end of the world. You miss your nutrition. You eat 500 calories over, and you're supposed to be in a 500 calorie cut. Okay, that's just one extra day that you've got to do that 500 calorie cut. Like, those are manageable things that you could work around, right? Missing that one workout, you're not going to deflate, right? But if you miss a lot of workouts in a row, absolutely. If you do not hit your nutrition one day, you're not going to balloon, or you're not going to turn into somebody with anorexia. But a whole year of that, probably, you might get somewhere close. So the point is to move this way consistently. And when you do actions that go this way, there should be space in between. So we don't want our red days or our bad days to be back to back to back, right? We don't want it to be like that, but we could have 10 good days, and then 1 bad. And then maybe we do 12 good days, and then 1 bad. And bad could just be, like, if you have a bad day, don't use it as an excuse to go on a bender, right? But if you just mess up, that's okay. Don't continue to mess up. Just accept the mistake that you made and then move on and get back on track. So if you missed your workout, like, that doesn't mean go stuff your face full of fucking food like, you're a gluttonous bastard. Excuse my language. But that just means you miss your workout, whatever. That happens sometimes. And just because you binged, you ate 500 calories, 1,000 calories over your diet, that doesn't mean go on a bender and stuff your face. That doesn't mean skip your workout. That doesn't mean stay up all night, right? It just means we made that one mistake and we just are going to get back on track and we're not going to keep doing it. But at the end of the day, it's going to, if you hit your 90% mark, your 90-10, right? And there's space in between your 10, you are going to make so much progress, right? Because sure, your 10% will have an effect and it will decrease the amount of results you're getting, right? But since it's spaced out, you may get only like that much detracted or that much detracted. But look at all of that growth you still have made, right? So this is the secret. It doesn't matter what workout you do. Your workout routine is irrelevant as long as you train close to failure. You will build muscle as long as you are doing this. Guess what? Your diet doesn't matter. The specific diet you choose doesn't matter. As long as you hit your macros and your calories. You hit your macro and calorie goal. Your macro and calorie goal. Right? And then sleep. Just sleep like a normal human. Go to sleep 8 hours before you want to wake up. And just wake up at that time. And have a bedtime and have a wake up time. And just go to sleep at the same time every night. And wake up at the same time every day. Some nights you may get bad sleep. Some nights you may have a hard time falling asleep. Some nights you may stay out a little bit late. But just get back on where you left off. If that does happen. But this is just what I want y'all to understand. Because it's like people think you have to be perfect. To have your dream body, you must be perfect. Sorry, my rice cooker is going off. I'm about to have dinner. Anyway, this isn't true. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent, right? And consistent allows room for error. There is room for error. And guess what? You're human. You will make mistakes. We all do. None of us are perfect. I miss the gym. I miss my nutrition. I fuck up my sleep sometimes. And this is like my whole shtick. This is something that I love. This is a part of my life, and it will forever be a part of my life. But there are times where I mess up. Sure, I may be more consistent than the average person, but like I'm not perfect, not at all. And all of my habits regarding my health have been focused around the principle of consistency, right? I don't try and do the perfect thing. I try and shoot for habits that I can handle consistently, which is why I don't cook complex meals. I throw stuff that I can just put in a cooker, or it takes me 5 minutes of active work to make it, or less, right? That is all around my principle of consistency. It's the same thing with working out. Like, if you enjoy going to the gym, then, sure, going 4 days a week or going more often than not would be a good option. But if you don't really like going to the gym, you can still go to the gym 3 days and make amazing progress. 3 days a week would arguably, in a context of muscle building, with proper programming, you could argue is the most efficient way to build muscle, using a 3 times daily full body, right? So you want to build your habits and what you do around consistency. So you don't want to set yourself up where you have to be perfect. As in, if you hate meal prepping, don't plan meal prep. Like, find something else. Find something else that works for you that you can do consistently. If you know that going to the gym 4 days a week is a no-go, but 3 days a week is yes, then don't schedule yourself in for 4 days a week. If you know that if you're on your phone 30 minutes before you go to sleep, you are going to struggle to fall asleep and it's going to wreck your sleep, turn your phone off. Like, it's literally just a principle of how can I make myself do this more times than I don't do it, right? Another example of this. I like to eat, and I will overeat if that option is available. So I have nothing in my pantry or my fridge outside of the food that I make each day. There are no stacks, there's nothing, right? And if that's you and you're somebody who can't control themselves, which honestly, that's what it is. I can't, yes, if there's delicious, tasty food, I'm going to eat it and I will overeat it. So I have built my habit and my surroundings around allowing me to be consistent, right? So, sorry, I'm getting a little bit passionate about this. I'll tone it down for y'all. The point is, just find ways to do something more times than not doing it. And if you do it more times than not, then you will make progress in the right direction. You will continue to go this way. And guess what? There are going to be off days, but it's going to be a magnitude like this if you are your 90% and your 10%, right? And this whole thing right here, that looks super good. You're still making a crap ton of progress, right? And you messed up 10% of the time. So, just start figuring out how you can be consistent and what habits make you the most likely to repeat them and continue to repeat them, right? Repeat, repeat, repeat. Things you can do on a consistent basis over and over, and every once in a while, once in a blue moon, then maybe you have a mistake, right? And then you just get to keep reaping the benefits of your consistency, because it's not the one workout, it's not the one day of eating, it's not the one night of rest. It's also not the one day of skipping, it's not the one day of bad eating, and it is not the one night of crappy rest. It is the culmination, right? And at the end of the day, if it helps you, tally it. Like, you can literally have a tally. We can have our good days, right? And then we can have our bad days. And as long as we keep tallying up the good days and minimizing the amount of bad days that we have, guess what? we keep moving in the right direction. And sure, these days may set us back a tiny bit, right? But we still have such a magnitude of results in the right direction that, you know, cool, we cut off that much. So we still have this whole other part of results that we're getting, and we just did a little bit of damage, right? So please, 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 please stop worrying about being perfect. Just work on getting the right actions down the majority of the time. And it doesn't have to be perfect action. If you can only go to the gym 2 days a week, go to the gym 2 days a week. If you have to eat different meals every day, eat different meals every day. Or find a way to switch up the flavor profile of the food that you already eat to make it more interesting. So have the same base, chicken and rice, beef and rice, beef and potatoes, chicken and potatoes. That's a few ways to switch it up. Have a different sauce, have a few different sauces. That way you could have a teriyaki beef and rice, or you could have, you know, a mustard beef and rice, or whatever it is, whatever flavors you want, a hot sauce with beef and rice. And it completely changes the food. And that way you can be consistent and change up those flavor profiles, but you're still hitting your macros and you're still eating foods that you know are aligned in the right direction, rather than having to figure out 7 different or 21 different meals to cook for 3 meals a day, each day of the week, every single week. Like, at least to me, that would make me not want to do my nutrition at all. But if that's you and you can do that and you have the time for that, or you have the people or the resources available to make that happen, and that will keep you consistent, then do it. All right, I think y'all get the point. Be consistent. Find the things that allow you to do things day after day. And just show up and do things right 90% of the time, and you are going to make results. If you enjoyed this video, you probably didn't learn anything new, but if you enjoyed the motivation, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Again, I'm going to keep making more of these videos for you. And I will see you guys tomorrow with the second variation of the upper day on the split. That video is just going to be covering most of the exercises, going over form, and then we'll have a lower day after that. Again, mostly covering exercises and going over form. And then the workout videos will get back to topic-based rather than just explaining the workouts. But anyway, I will see you guys tomorrow with an upper workout.